Hi, Sagittarius. Best we can. The Sun card, that could be Leo. All right. Three of Cups. Knight of Cups. Six of Wands. Judgment. Pisces, no, Hangman, and Four of Swords. That could be Pisces, by the way. This could be Cancer, Sagittarius, or Scorpio. Scorpio, Leo. Okay. All right, so we got trust issues here. Well, let's be honest. Who doesn't have trust issues? All right. What's this? What's this three? Okay, so what's this Three of Cups about? The World. Okay. What's this Six of Wands about? Six of Wands. Empress. All right. What's this Knight of Cups here? The Lovers. Oopsie. What's this Judgment about? What's this Judgment about? Magician. So this could be Gemini, Taurus, or Libra. This could be Gemini, Aries, or Virgo. All right. What's this Hangman about for Sagittarius? Seven of Cups. So, all right. So instead of being able to fully let go of a situation, you're still kind of analyzing. You're in the in-between stage. It's almost like you want answers and you feel like you need closure from this person to be able to move forward. And this is someone that most likely wasn't faithful because this is someone that just doesn't want commitment. And there could have been somebody that wasn't faithful, or they told you things that they had no intention of following through on. Either way, there's some sort of betrayal here. And the thing is that this is someone that wasn't honorable, or they didn't do what they said they were going to do. As soon as it got kind of dicey or dodgy, they kind of just were able to let go of things. Now, this is not talking about like, well, it's perfectly understandable that if people are sheltering in place away from each other, of course we're supposed to do that right now. It's that bad. We're in the middle of a pandemic. But barring that influence, this is somebody that just doesn't step up. This is someone that doesn't follow through. This is someone that's still stuck trying to move on from their own failure or getting over a few things in their own life. And so they don't have it to give to move forward with you, or to connect with you, or to offer you any kind of support or perspective, or even attention, really, because this is someone that's still kind of consumed with their own life and their own choices. And instead of you realizing, okay, I was with somebody that didn't have it to give, they've got a lot of stuff going on, you're still kind of holding out this hope that it will work out as soon as this gets taken care of in somebody's life. And at some point it becomes a choice and someone stepping up to handle their business. And you've got somebody that doesn't, because this person has a problem with following through and finishing what they said, like being as good as their word, being reliable, staying the course, having purpose with things. This is someone that doesn't do that. So this is not about someone clearing out the gunk in their life so they can be present and be a partner to you. It's not going to happen. This person is not that. As soon as one piece of junk gets cleared out, something else is going to get ushered in. This is someone that kind of just sort of swims around in the chaos rather than resolving anything. And it could just be that there's a lot going on for this person and they can't. But by and large, this is all about someone kind of having agency in their own life and taking charge of things, that has a commitment to, no matter what, I'm going to do this, this, and this today, or I'm going this in 3 years, this is my goal, and steadily working towards handling all the other things to make it easier for them to pursue a goal. And so I think what you said, what that means in terms of this person in this relationship is you're still kind of thinking that it could have worked out if this, this, and this. So in a way that kind of still keeps you hoping or tied to it or blaming the other things, when what you need to see is that you were with somebody that didn't step up. And you might feel like it was because you weren't worth it, that you weren't worth them stepping up for. Like, well, if it's a choice and they didn't, then that means that I wasn't worth it, that I wasn't worth their choice to do so. And whether that's true or not, you don't belong with somebody like that, that's not going to uphold you or think a connection with another human being is worth them being respectful enough of the time to have certain things set aside to be present for a potential relationship. So whether you were enough or not, that's not really the issue. It's that this person wouldn't regardless. So consider then that you are worth it, and they still didn't. Do you know what I mean? So this, in turn, that fear of you feeling like you weren't enough kept you overextending yourself. And then that codependent dynamic is created to where you overextend yourself and you don't want them to let you down. So you try to give them solutions on how to handle their life. And then they go, oh yeah, thanks, I'm going to try that. And then off they go, and you're like, but wait a second, now we can go out to dinner, right? And they're like, well, no, I want to go over here and do this then. Because now that you told me how to handle that, I can just do that later, and I'm going to go do this. And you're like, okay, the only reason I told you that was so that we could eventually spend time together, and yet you still don't choose me. You still choose to go over and do whatever, you know what I mean? So this is that codependent thing that starts happening, because you're constantly thinking about ways you could solve somebody else's problems instead of realizing, I'm not getting what I need. I'm with somebody that doesn't really manage their own affairs. I'm always going to have to be in that capacity for this person. When is it going to be about me? And so this is about not doing that anymore, not spinning it, not thinking, well, if this was taken care of, then they and I could be doing this. Or if I could just take care of this, if they could just, It's a choice. And even if it isn't a choice, even if somebody is medically predisposed to where they're incapable of making a decision, or they're really hyperactive or all that, at the end of the day, it's still someone that isn't what you want. Not because of a mental condition or anything like that. It simply doesn't fit your needs. You need somebody, for the Sagittarius I'm reading for, you want someone to give back, you want someone to show up, you want someone to be present. You settled for somebody who wasn't, thinking that if you solved their problems and you managed their life, they would in turn finally give you the attention that you wanted. If all that stuff wasn't there, they would be willing to and able to finally be your partner if they didn't have all this. Consider that is always going to be there, because they're the type of person that just doesn't really resolve a whole lot of things. Things are always going to pile up for them. Things are always going to get cloudy and in the way, and they're always going to have 52 things to do and this and that, because this might be somebody that's not very good at time management. So it's not about you being enough, or that, well, they didn't choose me. They didn't choose anybody. They never choose anything, because they never stick with anything long enough to resolve it or see it through, or and it's not that they're bad. I mean, I'm sure they have their reasons. This is someone that it's kind of a pattern for them, though. It could be that there's some mental health issues. It could be there's childhood issues they're trying to work through. Whatever the reason, they're kind of otherwise occupied, and there's not much room for a flourishing relationship with anybody, not just you. So this isn't about you being enough. This is about them being too busy for anybody. And no more spinning it on your part, and no more staying stuck. You're coming into an incredibly intuitive time here, and you don't need to be wasting it on trying to machinate and think of reasons why, or what are they going to do next, or it doesn't matter. They didn't put you first when they had a chance, and that's what you need to realize is that that's what you want in a relationship, someone who could put you first. So it's about finding someone who can put you first, not lamenting why someone couldn't or didn't. And then what that means about you, well, I must not be worth it. No, that doesn't mean that. It means you chose somebody that's not going to make anybody worth it. So this is about you no longer fixing anybody else's life, but instead fixing your own, whatever that means to you. Not that your life needs to be fixed, but now, because we've got nothing but time on our hands, we're in the business of healing ourselves, shoring things up, attending to our own affairs. And it's a perfect time for self-care and nurturing and kind of getting back to all those things for ourselves, making us whole again, because we've all been kind of overworked and worried and stressed out. This is sequestered at home. Well, you know, meditation and bubble baths, or hot soaks anyway. What's his 4 of Swords? 8 of Wands. All right. So what's it? But oh. This is about you cutting off. Honestly, this is about, I hate to sound brutal, but this is about going no contact with this person. Hopefully you can. But this is really turning away from this person and their needs and just concentrating on you and not worrying about them anymore and just concentrating on yourself. Because it's funny, on the one hand, you're quick to walk away from something out of fear of getting hurt, but then here you got this person that won't put you first or make you enough, and you're still machinating on the reasons why and still hoping and still kind of secretly holding on, and you haven't really let go of them yet. And it's almost like, is it because they're safe? Because they're out of your reach anyway, so you can sit there and kind of really overanalyze and think about all the reasons why? Or is it because you feel like you need to be enough for them? You need to make it somehow so they choose you. And then it'll be worth it, and then you two will be on the same page, and then they'll finally give you what you want. They won't. And it has nothing to do with you being enough or not. You are enough. They didn't choose you because they didn't choose anybody. It's not that you are or aren't special. They don't have the time for anybody. It could be that they didn't want to have kids and you wanted to have kids. They didn't mind doing the deed with somebody else, but when it came to having kids, oh, no, we can't go any farther than that. That's where it stops for me. I don't want to have kids. But, you know, we can have all the fun we want. Well, okay, then fine. But this isn't about, this is you wanting someone that doesn't want what you want. And it's time to accept that and to move forward with that knowing and let it go and stop the overanalyzing or stop hoping that, well, if this, then that. You need to give it a rest. What else for Sagittarius? Knight of Cups. That could be Scorpio. So we got Knight of Cups twice here. That's about someone wanting a commitment and wanting to move forward with a commitment, making a choice, taking the initiative to pursue, to make that choice. And this is someone that might want to enjoy you physically, but when it comes to taking it to the next level and actually committing to a partnership or a connection, starting a family, or agreeing about kids, all that, that's where it stops for them. They don't want anything that requires a lot of obligation or effort, because they probably know that at this point in my life, I'm not ready to pull that off yet, or I can't commit to anything. I don't want to settle down. I'm still dealing with my own stuff. I'm still working through a lot of stuff myself, or I've still got a lot going on. So this is someone that just doesn't want the next level. And it could be that that's what it's about for you. And this is about you giving that whole situation a rest and focusing on yourself and self-care. And making a quick and clean departure from this situation as much as you can, especially mentally. Stop with the machinating. and the thinking of reasons and why, and you have your answer. They haven't stepped up and they're not going to. And please stop thinking that it was because you weren't enough, or that, well, if you would have just this, then they would have. They're not for anybody. Might be somebody that someone holds their attention for a certain amount of time, and then they get bored and they go on to the next one. This is someone that likes that romantic rush or that high, but beyond that, then they might get bored and they're just like, I don't really feel like sticking around and having this turn into a full-blown partnership where, I don't want to see what you look like at, such and such in the morning with no makeup, or I'm not ready for someone to not be at their very best for me all the time. And you know what I mean? It could be that. So you don't want somebody that can't accept you fully, to where you don't have to keep doing for them and making it worth it for them to be there. You don't want that. You're ready for more than just that romantic rush in the beginning. You want something deeper and more than that. And I think you've been trying to think of ways as to why, or hoping that maybe it's a maturity thing, and it's not. Or, well, actually, if it is or it isn't, it doesn't matter. They can't give you what you need. And it's not because you're not enough. It's because they don't want what you want. That's what it is. Sagittarius. You are never alone. Good for you. Is that why you were still... Because at least it was somebody? Because then, God forbid, if you didn't have that person, then you would be, like, really all by yourself? Good. Self-care. It's good that you be by yourself, because otherwise you're so busy taking care of this person and trying to make sure to hold their interest and to pursue and to say and to do and this and that. You'd be exhausted. It was never about you anyway. They just didn't have it to give. Too worried about their own things right now. All right. I hope this was helpful, Sag.